All right, guys, we are back, and we need your opinion. Right now, we are waiting on Mbos to get back.
Right.
We went to a stream, and he was missing. Got kicked for inactivity in his pub match, but they're supposed to play out or Envy next. Don't want to miss that match, but in the meantime, we got two options. We got TK versus Averse. This is their Search and Destroy, or we got Denial versus TR from the ESWC match. So let us know. We got our sound guy monitoring the chat. We'll show you whichever one you want. Here's a little sample of both, though.
We should, that's going to be restarted again, the Adverse TK match. Because if we do go to this one, we should probably bring it up on yours, so then we can also see if we get invites from those.
That's so smart. Matthew J.
Otherwise we'll just be sitting here. It could have happened, and we wouldn't even know.
One of the smartest men in the business. All right, you know what? We're going to go to me. We're going to TR.
Ooh, hold on a second.
Uh-oh. You get the invites? You think it's real?
I got them from a different game.
Uh-oh. Which game you think it is? Nah. That was a fake.
No, that was a real one.
Communication with Xbox Live has been interrupted.
SB Faze?
I'll watch that. All right, we'll watch that. That's why. Yeah. We're going down.
We can do that.
For sure. Faze Zuma, how's he been filling in?
Good. I mean, they've looked good, this Faze team. When they first started, they looked great, and then, you know, they started to struggle a little bit in the league since they went, I think, 0-6. They had like a 6-game losing streak. They've been very up and down since, the beginning. I think, though, by time X Games comes, this will be a very good team. All
right, so here it is, guys. We're going back to Hardpoint. This is Retreat. A little bit of HP. I wonder, can Fizzerp keep slaying the way he did at COD Champs? He's looked good in some of the online tournaments for the matches I've tuned into, but who's the dominant slayer on this SB squad that needs to keep up with the Faze boys?
Oh, it's going to have to be, John and Fizzerp, combination of the two. But I want to start things off with Hook. I think, he, this year, is going to come out to be, one of the most dominant players. It's going to be interesting, though, whatever team he's on at the end of AW, they're going to have a huge worry going into next year because, obviously, he'll still be too young for champ. So what do you do
my goodness,
as a team?
Do you invest in him in the first 3 months and just win every tournament, or do you let him fall to the side?
Because then it's, you're trying to replace him from, like, 4 champs, let's say. I mean, you're trying to replace a guy who's an arguable, top 5 to 10 player. I mean, how do you... Well, I mean, in this game, we don't know how he would be at Black Ops 3. Or...
I assume if he's good at this game, he's going to be good at Black Ops 3.
Right. So, how do you... Like, what do you do?
If you can go on a killing spree, you're definitely going to be valuable to your team next game because you will have score streaks now.
Right. How does he kind of fit into a team that way? Like, let's say he stays in this Faze team, right? And they go on a run where, they have some great finishes, whatnot, top 4, top 3. They go into Black Ops 3 with the same lineup. They're looking good at the start of the game. What do they do at Champs time? They can't just kind of replace, him with anyone.
We talked about Fizzerp needing to slay to keep up with Faze. 0-5. Not the way you want to start. There's Philip getting his first kill. There is another player on the hardpoint, and he almost was able to pick up that one. Off to the slow start, though, is SB. It is Hook slaying very well. You saw him open up 6 and 7. Slasher, though, 6 and 3, has the best stats right up there with Zuma, who's now 7 and 4.
Yeah, I expect this Faze team, the next week to really just kind of run people over. A lot of the top pro players will be at Gfinity. This team obviously can't attend. Naval obviously going with Optic Gaming. Hook too young to attend, so they elect just not to go all together instead of just kind of going with 2 fill-ins. I think they'll definitely...
Which is pretty smart, in my opinion.
I think they'll definitely run rampant, though, and I think they needed that week. Maybe they have a really good week in the start of the Pro League. They get some, pro points from the 5K and the 2K next weekend. I imagine they'll do very well in those. It's a great play by the Faze guys.
And there is Sensa showing you he's still got it. 7 and 4, currently with 4 hardpoint captures on a 2 streak. Will be cut down finally. It's going to be John trying to light things up for SB. He drops in the hill. You got Fizzerp still contesting, though, and he will be cleaned up. Nice flood here that we're seeing from SB, but they're not able to get much time from this Art Lobby hardpoint, and it looks like we're going to be rotating in 20 seconds. Neither team with control until Zuma pushed in there with Sensor.
Yeah, Zuma with some nice kills in this lobby, able to open it up for Faze, and SB did a decent job of contesting that, just weren't aggressive once they got in. Now, they were able to pick up maybe one kill, get in, they started a contest. After that, didn't push through at all, didn't try and flood out those other players, so didn't get a lot of time there. Maybe they got, 15 seconds on that hill at most.
So Zuma rotated early, and then John just punished instantly. Hook and Slasher are there, though, and honestly, I think we got to watch the Slasher show. The man started off super hot, cooled down on that last hard point, but this should be a good one with his bow. Unable to get it going. Hook has pulled out the ASM-1, and he wants to get very aggressive here. SB with pretty far back spawns. He trades for 2. Meanwhile, it's going to be SB constantly hitting a brick wall. Every time someone dies from Faze, there's at least one more player to back them up.
Well, you've seen how aggressive, Faze was pushing out. You see a player go flying right by Sensor there. That was Hook again, able to push out those hills, and that's what Faze does a great job of. I mean, the Sensor, they kind of protect him on the hill a little bit. They push that out. I think the issue when they actually have their full squad is, who stays back on the hill. You have a Naval, Slasher, Hook, and Zuma, all pretty aggressive players. Minus Slasher, I'd say Slasher's probably the most passive. He's the AR, so he's never really gonna be the one that stays on the hill, but who's going to be the guy who stays and does that OBJ work for this Faze lineup?
In your opinion, who has the best skill set to handle that type of a job?
I would say it's probably a toss-up. I would actually say Enable, probably.
Right? I would let Hook keep pushing forward.
Yeah.
I would let Zuma definitely keep pushing
forward. That Zuma's
forward.
main. You get Zuma as a player because he's kind of attached in a way. He just puts tons of pressure on the hill. You don't get a player like that and then tell them to do the opposite.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, Zuma's not going to be getting my objective points. You can see the score. It is getting very close now as SB is looking to tie things up. Faze has not had an answer. Hook's been shut down his last 3 spawns. Twiz and Sin are going to be dropped, though. It's going to be John trying to hold on to control. Fizzerp now here to support.
Yeah, Fizzerp going to be supporting John. John in the back stairs, he's going to be fighting all of those engagements. Fizzerp's going to have just those 2 doors to watch. He's going to pick up a kill right there. Nice one on Hook as he's trying to jump in. It's going to be SB taking the lead here, Puckett, going into the second rotation of hills.
And Fizzerp was 0-5 going into the second minute of this game. Now sitting at 18-17. He is tied for the top of his team. Sin, though, trying to take over with the bow, and it's been Twiz who's actually been surprisingly the silent one. John leading the team in almost every category with 6 captures, most importantly.
Well, I feel like Twiz really isn't an SMG player. I mean, we got on board with him there. He was running the ASM-1. I feel like Twiz, it's one of the veterans in the Call of Duty community. I feel like he's, his gameplay is set up more for an AR type of player than, a running gun SMG, especially in a game like Advanced Warfare that's so fast. I feel like doesn't suit his playstyle the best to have him running a sub.
Hook has almost 50 interactions already. Sensor with 6 and Zuma with 5 captures. Trying to get involved in the objective and letting Slasher stay out of the hill there with Hook, who are supposed to apply that pressure. And I want to see, what makes Hook such a good player in your eyes, Matt?
That he's so smart. He's able to put that aggressive play on the hills, and he's so consistent. That's the thing that really kind of stands out for you, is that it's very rare you see this guy have a bad game. I mean, he keeps himself very composed for a younger player, and you see just his movement is on another level than a lot of these other players.
Very tight game. We're down to the last 3 minutes and 33 seconds. It was tied 120 each. SB trying to pull away with the lead. Hook gets in, though, behind his opponent and will pick up 1, dipping out before Sensor takes over that main position. And it looks like, just like this, we're going to see the back-and-forth trade time and time again. For now, it's Faze holding on, but still they trail by 1 point. Highly contested hardpoint here at the statue, but my question is, who is going to win the rotation battle here as it comes down to the last 10 seconds? It looks like a nice spawn out in the middle here from SB. They should be able to get there first. Yeah,
you have all the SB players. You see Fizzerp and John. I have Fizzerp highlighted on your menu. I have John watching poolside. Looks like those 2 are going to be the ones at this lobby hill first. It's going to be important they get these kills, as it looks like it's going to be Faze flooding in from the back. But something else I wanted to mention about Hook. I don't think his score really indicates the difference he makes on a game. A lot like Attach, where you look at Attach and you're like, Attach like a barely positive, maybe a little bit below positive KD. Like, why does everyone think Attach is so good? Because he's putting so much pressure, it makes it so much easier for his teammates to play. It's kind of like when you look at like a basketball game, right? LeBron James, he does such a great job of just setting up his team. Like, everyone says it's easier to play with a player like him. It's easier to play with a player like Hook. He's putting so much pressure on the opposing team. It allows a player like Sensor, gun battles that would be a lot very difficult for Sensor. He makes them very easy for Sensor to win. Players who aren't looking in that direction, aren't prepared for him, maybe catches a player completely off guard, gets him weak. Let Sensor, up his game a little bit more.
Now, I've actually been playing with Hook in a few other titles, and he is a constant communicator as well. So while he's going out there and doing the damage, applying that pressure, he's also communicating those positions back to the team. Sensor, though, has been playing like a rock star in this game. Want to give him a lot of credit. Currently sitting the bench on Faze right now, but this is a guy who could be in any starting lineup still in my mind. Not sure why he's having so much trouble currently in Season 3.
I felt extremely bad for Doug when Prof let him go. I mean, you have an opportunity to get 2 members of TR. I understand why Prophecy decided to make the move, but Doug, one of the best pros in the community, one of the most dedicated pros in the community, wants to get better always. Yeah, it's very rare we see somebody in the Call of Duty community kind of admit their downfalls as a player, and then just try and do the best he can. And I think Doug really kind of that one example that does that. Just unfortunate, he keeps ending up in bad situations. But Doug always finds his way back. I mean, he had an issue with teams for a little bit. Then they win the Columbus Open.
Right.
Last year during Ghost was up and down, and then SB, he ends up winning a U.S. championship. So just a matter of time before we see Doug on a top flight team again.
Hook is at 43, looking to close out with 45, if not more, here in the final 30 seconds. 189 to 162. You need every second right now if you're strictly business. This is a huge play from Fizzerp. They have to play perfect, though. The contest keeps coming in, though, and Fizzerp has taken out 3. Isn't enough. John up top. He's got support. Final 17 seconds. This one coming down to the wire.
Not enough time.
And it is mathematically impossible. SB had a moment there, and they weren't able to capitalize. Really, they had the lead going into that back lobby, but it was Faze. They stormed 4 guys down poolside. They didn't have an answer for it, and Faze is able to steal the win by 30 points, 32 to be exact.
And Hook with a fantastic game. Finishes with 45 kills. It's like a silent 45, right? We didn't even really see it coming. Like, he just kind of gets them in the flow of the game. And when you have a Slayer who it almost seems like normal that he's going to drop 40 plus, you're a top flight team, without a doubt. And I think Faze, definitely a top flight team. They looked good with Sensor, Sensor doing that strictly OBJ role, letting the other players kind of roam around a bit.
Let's look at the stats real quick here from game number 1. 45 and 40 from Hook. You saw Sensor going +3, a 1.1 KD with 10 captures to his name. Zuma, he was about even most of that game, finished pretty slow there, 30 and 37, but that work was cleaned up by Slasher, who drops the highest for his team, a 1.15 overall, the best in the game. On the other side, props to Sinful, looking pretty strong with the bout, and John was trying to do everything, 13 captures as he had over 70 interactions.
Yeah, John with a very good game, 37-37. Even KD, 13 captures, just really needed more out of Twiz. I think putting the SMG in his hand really kind of throws him for a loop. Sin with a good game with the AR. Would have liked to see, Twiz maybe have one as well.
All right, you guys in the chat are a little bit drunk today. That was not an exciting fight last night. And we all understand why Floyd Mayweather is 48-0 for a reason.
Because he doesn't get hit. It's really easy to win a game where, the object is to hit the other person, not let the other person hit you. When you are really good at not letting the other person hit you, it's fairly easy to win.
Nope.
That was the funniest thing ever. When he was just blocking him, he's like, nah.
Nope.
He's just clowning him.
Nope. We're going to commercial break. Don't go anywhere. Game number 2, Search and Destroy, when we return.